the world on Fight Card Entertainment Pay-Per-View. Here we go. 3 3-minute rounds, welterweight action. When the bell rings, your referee, Mr. Mike Sim. Introducing first, ladies and gentlemen, representing United Elite MMA from Maple Park, Illinois, at 170 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, the prodigal son, Jeremy Kroneck. His opponent, ladies and gentlemen, represents 0 to 100 fitness from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, at 175 pounds. Let's welcome Darian Leo Riley. Here we go.
Moving forward on the card, a welterweight bout. Jeremy Kroneck taking on Darian Leo Riley. This is a super exciting matchup. I saw them working their way to the cage. Both fighters super focused, super ready to make their mark here inside the FCE cage. Christian Reynoso alongside your super lightweight champion, Tyler Funky Bones Jones, and the queen of our broadcast booth, Bernie A. Ooh, a quick spinning kick coming out early from Kroneck as he looks to put the pressure on Darian Leo Riley here from 0 to 100, a well-represented team tonight.
Kroneck nonstop.
Yeah. He had very active with his feet, too. He's ending every combination with a kick.
These young fighters coming out not concerned in the least with the gas tank, it seems, as they are pouring it on right away. Oh, and they're phenomenal. A kick is
but he gave up his...
Let's talk about that exchange real quick. A kick is caught by Kroneck. He catches Riley's kick, then follows up with a jumping kick of his own, only to end up on the bottom here. Working from the bottom is Jeremy Kroneck, as Leo Riley now inside the closed guard. A possible armbar attempt from the bottom by Jeremy Kroneck.
Great pass by Riley there. You know, it's tough when you're rolling with someone with that type of athletic capability that Kroneck is showing. It's sometimes hard to hit, you know, normal basic technique, right? They're kind of squirming in ways that you don't really anticipate. And Riley's doing a good job just kind of getting the knee slice in. But here he's kind of opened himself up for a triangle.
Well, sort of going for an, sticking an arm under for a pass, but leaving himself in real danger there.
Oh, it lifts him up, but he's kind of overhooking the leg. I like to see him underhook the leg instead. But really focus on locking your legs up here. That triangle still.
It's going to be a matter of
nice pass.
It's going to be a matter of pressure there, right? It's a matter of keeping that forward pressure there by Leo Riley, that he does now, working his way almost into, look at that shoulder pressure from the top. I like that, making this a very uncomfortable position from the top.
I'd like to see Riley pull Kroneck away from the cage so he doesn't even have the option to push off of it.
Yeah, he's using that cage to get in a better position and get that out.
This is better for... Oh, good knee to the body there. That hurt him. He's going to like a kind of a knee on belly here.
Possibly giving up his back. Now, you kind of touched on this earlier, Tyler. I'm sure you could add something to this, Bernie. These grappling exchanges, it's difficult to do the same thing during an MMA fight that you would maybe do in a jiu-jitsu match or an open roll at the gym. The second you start incorporating those strikes, it can become difficult to say, okay, now I'm going to be methodical about my pass, or I'm going to over-under this way or pass that way. The addition of strikes really does change things for these guys.
Throw a couple more hammer fists and then try to pass. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a whole other sport.
It really is, you know? I love it.
Was it Carlson Gracie that used to say, I punch a black belt in the face once, I turn him into a brown belt, I hit him twice with a purple, and so on and so forth.
And we see it all the time in the UFC even. You know, guys, black belt world champions giving up their backs to blue belts and getting choked out. And everyone sits here and says, oh my God, I can't believe it. But when you're in there and the pressure's on, you can't believe it, right? Because people are going to refer back to what they do in practice when they're tired. What's their go-to? What's their tendency? And if their tendency is, I need to get out my back and get out of here, you know,
you're going to do it in the cage.
Happen.
You're going to do it in the cage. Well, an exciting first round for both fighters. You know, it's interesting. It looked like it was it was on that, you know, that jumping kick that Jeremy Kroneck threw that he gave up the ground position. Before that, this was a purely stand-up bout. So I'll be interested to see where this goes in this second round.
I'd like to see the replay of that kick. That's an awesome kick that I feel like everyone that's trained MMA knows that that's there, but I'm like, I would never do that in the fight. I'm scared I'm going to land on my back. And he just went for it. Right?
Absolutely. I believe it was Buckley in the UFC that recently had that phenomenal kick caught into a highlight reel jumping kick. You know, between that, you got Showtime Pettis out there jumping off of fences. These fighters know they have a real opportunity to make a name for themselves with a viral moment today.
Actually, in the second Benson Henderson fight, not the Showtime kick one, but when they fought in the UFC, he did something very similar. But Anthony Pettis, so athletic, was able to land back on his feet. He almost like missed Benson's head off completely. But to have the ability to throw that in your first fight and not really worry about the repercussions, awesome.
I think Riley had his leg caught, and he's either going to take him down anyway. So
Yeah,
he's like, let me go for it.
Well, we mentioned the name once earlier. Why not bring it up right now? We mentioned Showtime Pettis, his cousin, Angelo Pettis Jr., on our card later tonight as he looks to carry the flag for the Pettis family. Later on in the card, debuting with FCE. Here we have a break in the action after a low strike.
Kroneck seems to have maybe a traditional martial arts background. I say that Taekwondo or karate. The way that he kind of throws his kicks, it's all snap. You know what I
It's
mean?
kind of that longer range snap.
Yeah. You know, one went low there, trying to chop the inside of the legs. It happens.
Happens all the time.
Here we see taking a moment to gather himself. I believe he gets up to 5 minutes.
And use that time, right? Use that time. Now, one thing, at least that I've experienced in a fight, you hit a low shot. When you guys start back up, it's kind of hard to get the timing down again.
I was going to ask him, does that really affect the
It
rest of the
messes
fight
you,
for you?
it messes you up. Not because of the pain of the low shot, but because it's kind of hard to get back in the fight. And it seems like these two guys are right back in.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he was using the time to catch his breath. As cardio not an issue.
Good head kick.
Beautiful head kick there by Jeremy Kroneck.
Seems to have hurt him. Oh,
I don't know what's going on. I don't like the way that Kroneck is looking away from the fight. I'm sorry, Riley was looking away from the fight as Kroneck was bringing it to him.
I'm not sure if he was trying to listen to his coach and just was trying to kind of cut through the noise of the display in the theater right now. Is that head kick definitely rocked him?
Or something rocked him.
Yeah, I'm all for listening to your corner, but definitely not a good idea to look away from the opponent.
Not with your eyes.
Trying
Listen
to
with your ears.
take your head off, yeah, no doubt. Here we see some forward pressure from Darian Riley. He puts Kroneck against the fence. My guess, not a fan of that previous striking exchange.
Riley's got double underhooks here, though, so if he could work to kind of a bear hug position, I'll be like, well, that. He might get
There we see him. He grabs his hands and he gets the takedown. A very, very important takedown here.
Yeah. In the guard. And Kroneck is playing a lot of open guard here. But he's striking with this triangle. I'd like to see him grab his shin instead of his foot just to get the angle a little bit better. But still, he took his hand out. That was probably one of the only things stopping this from progressing. And now the position's getting worse for Riley.
Well, it's one of these things I've always thought to myself, if I'm going to put myself in danger of a triangle, as long as I'm aware of it and keeping that forward pressure, sometimes you can be ready to get out of it. There he does just that, keeping the forward pressure, aware of the triangle threat, and use it to pass the legs. Now in a better position is Darian Riley.
He did there that I really like. He put his shin on his neck. I saw that, and that creates so much pressure. Like, no one wants to sit there on that.
It's an exhausting wrestling exchange. If you're Jeremy Kroneck underneath taking all this forward pressure, a beautiful pass. Not just a pass, Tyler, but I'd say these passes are getting a little bit quicker, a little bit easier as this fight progresses for Darian Riley.
He's able to sit on his head and body shots here is a good opportunity for Riley. And the arm is there for the taking as well.
Bernie, if this is your fighter on the bottom, are you telling him to start taking off that fence or to give up on that thing and try to create more of a typical grappling exchange? Or do you want that scramble?
No, you got to keep moving. You got to keep your foot on that fence to get him off. You need that leverage like that rather than being flat on the ground.
Well, doing just as you said, using that fence to push off.
Saved by the bell.
You know what? It seems like Kroneck is not at all interested in returning back to a guard or half guard. We've seen that a couple times tonight, right? When people are in bad positions on bottom, they're trying to get all the way on top or get the big stand up, right? So I'd like to see Kroneck, if he's on his back, start to work back to half guard, start to work back to full guard. You know, that's going to drastically improve his chances at getting this fight what he wants on the feet. He just landed big shots.
I think he does a really good job of kind of staying active on his back and using that open guard to create threats, but at the end of the day, he is still stuck underneath him when he has Riley on top. The question is, can he keep it on the feet long enough to make this his round? I'm not really going out on a limb when I say it seems like Jeremy Kroneck has the advantage on feet.
Oh yeah, he's getting to the destination faster. You know what I mean? His kicks are being thrown with authority. He's going to the head. He's going to the body. He's changing levels on everything. He's doing a really good job making Riley worry about anything and everything that Kroneck's able to throw.
Really interesting to see these debuting fighters come out here with a lot of cage awareness, really experienced beyond their records.
I didn't realize these two were going to be that good as well.
Oh, good head kick from Riley. It was maybe a millimeter off from the chin.
A game of millimeters in mixed martial arts. As that kick doesn't mean it's marked, but moving forward is Kroneck deploying a head kick of his own.
Good overhand by Riley there, return.
I like that kick to the body by Kroneck there.
Nice, again. Riley seems to be finding his own on his feet right now. Good body kick.
But so much tighter is Jeremy Kroneck coming right down the pipe. Those high kicks coming seemingly out of nowhere. And at this point, the fresher fighter is Jeremy Kroneck.
Yeah, Riley seems to be feeling the gas tank a little bit, and then Kroneck is he's got the same bounce he had in the first round.
Legitimately still jumping around inside the cage, Jeremy Kroneck.
I like to see Kroneck feint with the leg and then get to the hands when he finds himself up against the fence again.
Couple numbers are going here. You should grab that body lock and drop his hips a little bit.
And sometimes it is hard against the fence to feel your fingers, like, you try and go for that double unders and you kind of crush your hands on the fence.
So you kind of touched on it there, Bernie. So he had both of his arms underneath his armpits, kind of that double under position. What do you want to see from a fighter there?
So
I mean, right here it's kind of lost that position. It's kind of a weird entanglement we have all of a sudden.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I was trying to watch. If Riley had the double unders, he would drop a little bit, get his head under Kroneck's.
Oh, and there we see him muscling a takedown as Kroneck getting his hips underneath, not getting that ideal hand positioning you were talking about, Bernie, but still really just kind of, I'll say it, ragdolling Riley to the ground, but working his way back to the top. He does a really good job of getting to this position.
Oh, these are big shots.
Huge shots being employed by Darian Leo Riley here, really making Kroneck pay for the takedown attempt. I would say this is the biggest moment of the fight right now for Leo Riley with less than a minute left in this
triangle.
amazing fight.
He should go for a Kimura here because he's got 2-on-1. I like that Riley's transition there from butterfly sweep to on top and throwing hammers was a thing of beauty.
Showing a pretty decent grappling acumen here. Ooh, stopping the action really quick. I don't know. I believe it's a mouthpiece. There we see Mike Sim jumping in.
And then it was out. This is a big round for Riley. The fight may have hinged on that prior exchange.
I think so too, Terry.
He's giving up his back here.
Well, if we think way back to the first round, he spent a lot of that fight, that round fighting for the back. He had, kind of the grappling. I would say he was winning the grappling exchange because of the positioning. And here, ending in a good spot. Almost in a crucifix, almost in the back here.
Looks to swing for one.
This
is a horrible position. Yeah. Beautiful job by both fighters. What a fight.
A gritty finish by Leo Riley there as Jeremy Kroneck gave him everything he could handle. A fantastic fight by these two welterweights.
Yeah.
I mean, I think both of these guys, no matter the result, winners as they take home a wealth of experience from a debuting fight here.
Yeah, that was a great fight. Everyone's bringing it.
Well, in an environment like this, as I mentioned it earlier, FCE bringing you a sensational card, their first big show of 2022, and a real touch of class from the beautiful Displays Theater. This place is electric. It is absolutely packed. If you're catching the fights from home on the pay-per-view, congratulations. You are getting a heck of a show, but those that are in attendance are getting a real treat. This place is really on fire as we kick it back to the veteran voice of our cage, Showtime Joe Rossi.
Test. Put across the line, 2022. And we go to the judges and the scorecards, and your winner by unanimous decision, ladies and gentlemen, Darian Leo Riley! That's my good leg. All right, fight card fans, big announcement. If you follow us on social media, all platforms, Facebook, everything else, and our website, you know, already signed for our next big show, Sunday, April 3rd, Cicero Stadium. We return from one historic arena to another, from Des Plaines back to Cicero. Follow all the fight card entertainment.